What's going on, everybody? It is your humble YouTube live stream host, Timothy J. Ward, back with another live stream. Welcome to everybody who's here. We got some people already in the chat. That's amazing. The thumbs up button is already looking great, looking crazy. And I'm excited. I'm excited because this is going to be a good stream, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be one of them ones. Okay, this is a stream I can talk a lot about. This is a stream I think we need. This is a topic I think we don't talk about enough. I don't think we have like real discussions about it enough. Hello to everybody in the chat. I see y'all. I see y'all. Hello. Please feel free to hit the like button. Y'all are doing that. Thank y'all. Let's get some people up in here. Today we're talking about being an introvert. Life as an introvert. And we're also going to touch on what it's like being an introvert at like middle age. You know, I see a lot of, people talk about introversion here and there, but like, what's it like being a middle-aged man and being an introvert? That's interesting. We're going to talk about that. And I know there's a lot of introverts out there. In the chat, in the community. So yeah, feel free to chime in. Okay. Now in the beginning, I'll probably just be like talking. I'll probably be reading the comments, but I might not be, every now and then if the one, stands out, I might mention it. If there's something you just got to throw into the conversation, there is the super chat. We always read the super chats on this channel. But in the beginning, it's just going to be me talking. Okay. And yeah, extroverts, you're welcome to be in this chat too. This is not just a stream for us introverts to sit around and pat each other on the back. Yeah, extroverts, you're welcome to be in this chat too. This is not just a stream for us introverts to sit around and pat each other on the back. But it's like, honestly, I want extroverts to tap in so they can see kind of what it's, where we're coming from. Because that's really one of my like biggest things I have to like deal with as an introvert. Like one of the biggest issues is people not like understanding. And that's part of the reason I want to do the stream. Maybe somebody who doesn't understand introverts, can watch this and learn more about us. Or maybe somebody who's introvert, it'll help them to see there's a lot of us out there. So yeah, we're going to talk about introverts. We're going to wait a couple minutes before we get started. Hopefully everyone's having a good the Wednesday. Hopefully everyone's having an amazing Wednesday. I never know what day it is. But yeah, we're going to talk about being an introvert, middle-aged introvert. I got a list. Y'all know when I got a list, it's going to be a good one. It took me forever to get my list to stand up. I got it balancing off of a cooler over there, a cup thingy. So yeah, we're there. I'm already seeing a lot of comments. People introverted, got some topic. Oh yeah, we going in. Oh yeah, we're going to talk. That's one we definitely going to talk about. I think a lot of people don't think I'm an introvert. So that's one we're going to talk about. Actually, let's go ahead and get to it. Let's go ahead and get right to it. First, I wanted to start off like with my introvert like history, with like my backstory. Okay. I didn't know I was an introvert probably until, like maybe my late 20s. And the reason I say that is like growing up, I grew up in a household where I really wasn't allowed to play with I wasn't allowed to play with the kids in the neighborhood. I wasn't allowed to do any extracurricular activities. I'm not bashing that, but like, I just wasn't, okay? Had a great childhood, not bashing that at all. I just wasn't really allowed to play with a lot of other kids. So like, I just grew up playing by myself. And so I never had like if I had the option to like really get out there and play with other kids and then I saw that I didn't want to, well, then maybe I would have been like, I'm a little different. Or as a kid, you don't even think you're different. You just think, oh, this is just me. It's when we get older that they tell us we're different. But you know what I mean? Maybe as a kid, I would have been like, well, okay, I don't like playing with the other kids as much as the other kids like to. But since I didn't have that opportunity, Like I played by myself because that's what mom said I had to do. I played out in the yard by myself. I had a basketball goal in the yard. I played basketball by myself. Played baseball by myself. Rode my bike by myself. And I think that in hindsight, I realized the fact that I'm an introvert was why it was cool. You know what I mean? If I had been an extrovert, it probably would have been brutal. to look out the window and see all the good kids playing, but know that I can't go out there and play with them. Like when I first moved to neighborhoods, they'd always try to get me to play. After about a month, they realized, oh, this kid can't play with us. They'd be playing, and I'd be in the yard playing by myself. Anyway, that's a totally different video. But yeah, I didn't even realize I really was an introvert. It's just what I did. Okay. And then as I got a little older, I've always had. Now I was allowed to have friends in the same like religious organization. So as I got a little older, every now and then I'd go over to one of my friends' house, play. And as we got older, we got cars, might hang out. But like I never really was, and then in my 20s, I started like drinking and partying. So anybody who's a drinker knows that like drinking will like change up who you are, So for most of my 20s, during the week, I was like working and I might stay at home, but on the weekends I was out. So it didn't occur to me I was an introvert because I was out at the bar and at the club like every weekend. But that wasn't me. That was the alcohol. You know what I'm saying? It was the alcohol. Excuse me. I had some organic Raisin Bran right before I started the stream, and it's that organic Raisin Bran don't go down totally. It's coming back up. I don't know if that's good or bad. Anyway, so yeah, the alcohol made me kind of extroverted, I'll say. So it wasn't until I kind of started slowing down the drinking and I wasn't going out as much, that I really realized, oh, I really like being alone. You know what I mean? Like it was late 20s, maybe 30s. I was still drinking and partying, but not as much. Body can't handle it like it used to. And then I realized like, oh, I'm just going to work, coming home, and that's like it. You know what I mean? Like when I got my own apartment, yeah, like I would see the people at work. Other than that, I didn't really hang out with anybody. I'd go to work, I'd come home, I'd eat my dinner. I was still drinking then. I'd drink my beer, I'd go to bed. I did that like every day, even on the weekends. That's what I did, and that's when I really started to say, oh, like and I think it got more popular. Like back in the 90s, nobody was talking about being an introvert. Okay. In the 80s and 90s, nobody was talking about being an introvert. I think the term has gotten popular recently. And that's when I really started to be like, oh, wait, like this is a different way of living. Like this is different here. Most people aren't like that. Because, until you really think about something, you just think everybody's like you. You know what I mean? Like I just, oh yeah, like man, maybe I stay in the house a little more, but doesn't everybody? But I'm like, no. This is different. I'm this thing called being an introvert, And so that was it was just weird. I never really thought about it till maybe, 10 years ago or something like that. And I'm like, oh, this is me. And actually kind of like, y'all know me, I don't really like labels, things of that nature, but I kind of like the introvert label because it does explain me. Like if I meet somebody, I'm on a date or something, or just meet, somebody and we're thinking about being friends, whatever, I can be like, oh, I'm an introvert. And they already get a picture in their mind like, okay, this dude ain't gonna be outside all the time. Okay. And like all my friends now know it. Literally one of my best friends on the planet lives 20 minutes away from here. And I've been here, 3 months, and we hung out once. You know what I mean? Now, part of that is because things come up. But yeah, I'm just not and I got other friends here. I've hung out with one of my friends twice. Like, I just don't, my natural state is being by myself. My natural state is doing whatever I got to do during the day, be it work or hanging out or whatever, and then like coming home and being by myself. Steve Mayfield, I appreciate that. That hefty super chat squad, that hefty super chat. Steve, always coming through, showing love. I appreciate that. Thank you. Steve coming through. No comment, just love. I like that. Thank you, Steve. Really appreciate that. Super chat squad. So yeah, like my natural state is to just do whatever I got to do during the day, come home, sit in my room, watch WNBA basketball, maybe watch, some Netflix, go to bed. Even when I'm like, man, maybe I should get out the house more, I don't do it. Like it's just, I always tell people, this is how I explain to like to extroverts or normal people, because I think there's people in the middle. I think there's introverts. I think there's regular baseline people. I think there's extroverts. And a lot of times baseline people and extroverts don't understand you being introvert. And this really helps with extroverts. I'm like, think about how much you like being out and with your friends and always go, go, go. That's how much I like being at home by myself. And that usually puts it in perspective. You're like, oh, Like, okay, I get it. Because you're just saying like, oh, I like being alone. That doesn't register to them because they don't like being alone. So they're just like, whatever. But if you're like, take that feeling you get when you're out with like 3 of your friends and you're just doing something and you're having so much fun, that's how much I enjoy. I get that same level of thrill being at the house by myself. That's how much I love coming home after a day of work, going in my room, closing the door, and not talking to anybody. You know what I mean? I'm the type of introvert, I don't even like when my phone goes off. Now, if it's somebody I love, cool. But like half the time my phone goes off, I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? Like I'm hardcore, close the door, close the windows, turn the phone off type introvert. Like I just want to do me. And it's just the way I am. You know, it's I think it's my DNA. I do think maybe growing up like that made it even, I don't want to say worse, but maybe like reinforced it even more. You know what I mean? I've always been an introvert. I think it's in my DNA because I think my dad is kind of one as well. But if I had grown up in a household where I was allowed to play outside and stuff like that, I might not be as hardcore a one as I am now. But when from the age of 0 to, 18 when I moved out, if you weren't of the same religious persuasion I wasn't allowed to play with you. You know what I mean? That's all through school. Never played with any kids from school. Never played on any team. So I think that just reinforced like, oh, it's alone is the move. You know what I mean? Like it just seemed normal to play with your Legos by yourself, to play basketball by yourself. Yeah. So I will admit though that I'm reading from my list here. The next thing on my list is like relationships. Okay. And this is really where like the middle-aged portion comes in because you do realize as you get certain ages, especially, I don't have any kids, never been married, don't date a lot. You do, sometimes people start to look at you a little funny. You know what I mean? I'm 42 years old and like, there's nothing. People outside looking at, that's weird to a lot of people. Here's a 42-year-old man, and he doesn't have anybody. And I realized that my like introversion. Hey, CJ Sport, thank you. Super Chat Squad said, I love you, brother. Thanks for making me feel less alone in the world. I grew up by myself, so I relate. Hey, a lot of us was like that. A lot of us was like that. So glad you can relate, and I appreciate the love. Thank you, Super Chat Train. Love you too. So where was I? Oh, I was talking about relationships. Yeah, I do realize that like my introversion probably does affect me and having relationships because I'm just not naturally going to put myself in situations to meet people. Like when I'm not working, I don't come in contact with anybody. And a lot of times when I am working, there's nobody date-wise to come in contact with. So like since I don't go to the clubs anymore or the bars or, to lounges or whatever, since I don't really socialize, even when I'm out, say at like the grocery store or the Home Depot or the library or the coffee shop, I really don't engage. You know what I mean? That's not my go-to. Like I like being alone. I keep it to myself. So I realized that like that is part of the reason like I'm always single because I just don't put myself out there. And if I am out, I'm not trying to talk to nobody. Like I have to really almost like, it has to be someone I've seen 3 or 4 times. And then I'm like, all right, the 4th time I'm gonna talk to her. There's a woman over at the Target that I think is about time I'm gonna talk to her. I couldn't say nothing. The most I said to her, yeah, I'll take a bag. They ask you if you want a bag at the Target because they charge you 10 cents. It's weird here in Denver. Anyway, I was like, yeah, I'll take a bag. And I was like, but I can't. You know what I mean? Just like off the cuff, like I can't. I used to think it was because of, and it kind of is shyness. And I also thought it was a character flaw. I can't just walk up to somebody of the opposite sex, start talking. It's part of the introversion. And it's not a character flaw. It's just how I am. Some people can walk up to anybody, start talking. That's not me. I just don't do that. I need to prepare. Even if it's going somewhere, my friends know you got to tell Tim like 2 weeks in advance if you want to go somewhere because he has to mentally prepare. This is just how I am. And it's not a character flaw. It's a character trait. And sometimes I do try to work on it or I do, sometimes I'm anxious and I go anyway. Sometimes I'll have anxiety about doing something. Maybe somebody doesn't give me enough, time in advance to prepare. I'll do it anyway. I've pushed it way down on occasion and been like, man, she too fine. I got to talk. You know what I mean? I've done it, but it doesn't come naturally to me. And I realize that kind of influences my relationships. Friendships are a little different because usually I become friends with people through work or through somebody else. So I'm around them a lot and we just kind of merge into being friends. Because for relationships, like Tim ain't walking up, you know what I mean? That's just not me. Not to mention, and let me know if some of y'all are like this too. All my, I got all kinds of stuff going on today. I think these lights got me sweating. All my like meaningful relationships that lasted any length of time have been long distance relationships. All my relationships that have lasted 6 months or longer, I think my longest one was 4.5 years, something like that. Been long distance relationships. Like I can't do, you live down the road from me, we see each other every day. I can't do it like that. And that's part of the introversion. Like I need my alone time. I need to be able to just like come home, close the door, not have to talk to anybody. Even the like phone call. I remember my last relationship and I love this woman to death. We're still friends. We'd see each other on the weekends. We'd see each other on, I go down Friday night and I'd leave like Sunday afternoon, right? She would call me during the week and I'd be like, ugh. Even though when I picked up the phone and talked to her, we had a good time. I'm like, I'm gonna see you Friday. And it's nothing against her. It's not me trying to sound like, a big bad man. I will see her Friday. No, I don't. If I'm gonna see you Friday, maybe we talk Wednesday. Or if something important comes up, call me. But like, if I'm gonna see you Friday, we're gonna spend all weekend together. We don't need to talk Tuesday, Thursday. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm just not built that way. And fortunately, she was understanding, not about the phone call thing as much. Like she was understanding about we only gonna see each other on the weekends. Cool, because I think she was kind of the same way too. The phone call, yeah, she would call. It just popped in her head. She's like, oh, I'm gonna call Tim. I was like, I'm doing stuff. She's like, what are you doing? Nothing. But yeah, when she'd ask, she's like, what are you doing? I'd be like, nothing. So like, I couldn't be like, you call too much, I'm doing stuff. She'd be like, every time I ask you, you're not doing nothing. But I'm like, nothing is what I do. That's doing something to me. I enjoy doing nothing. I enjoy doing nothing, right? I enjoy just sitting in my room, laying in bed, reading a book, watching Netflix, pondering life. Like that's fun for me, but I definitely know that introversion has affected relationships, but I honestly don't care. That's part of it too. Like, I don't care. I love being alone. So that's why a lot of times people ask me, hey, you don't get lonely, blah, blah, blah. Occasionally, but not really. Cause like, I like being by myself. It's fun for me. If somebody doesn't bring it up, I usually don't think about that there's an alternative. Hanging out with people every day. Now, it is cool when I hang out with my friends, or I do have a roommate. So sometimes, we'll go out in the living room and talk, something like that. It's cool. I do like interaction. And that's the thing too. Just because I'm an introvert doesn't mean I don't like people. I love people. I love human interaction. I just don't need it as much as most people. And it's definitely carried on in the middle age. And, I think some people might see me as weird because I'm always alone at 42, because like nobody else is. Very few people, except for those of us who get it, who are introverts, hardcore introverts, are alone middle-aged by choice. Anybody else, middle-aged, if they're alone, it's a problem. Dan Jam, I appreciate the love. Thank you. Dan coming through with the love, Super Chat Squad. Thank you, Dan, for the continued support. Thank you. Anybody else, they in their 40s and they're alone, there's a problem. Something went wrong. So I get how sometimes people look at me like, so no girlfriend, no kids, no, what do you do? I'm like, I got YouTube, I got y'all. But even if I didn't, I would still be I'd be at the house by myself. It's just what I do. Work's the same way. Like when I'm at work, I'm a lot more outgoing. Okay. If you put me in situations where I need to be like outgoing and interact with people, I can, and I actually enjoy it. Like I've been saying, I've been kind of just doing content creation full time since March, middle of March, I kind of miss being around people as far as work's concerned. And that's where there's like little weirdness there. You know what I mean? Because I've just talked all this time about being an introvert, liking being alone. But I kind of miss the work, be around people. Because I think someone said in the chat earlier, no man's an island. I totally agree. My mom used to say that, no man's an island. And I'd be like, I'm a whole continent. And she'd be like, what does that mean? And I was like, I don't know. I'm just, trying to contradict you, Mom. Have to interact. Real quick, I'm going to read. Hey, Reg, edited. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, Reg, edited. Coming through with the hefty chats. And Tim, I appreciate the subject matter for sure. Wait till you're over 50. The introverted lifestyle is even more pronounced. My father once told me he couldn't stand people sometimes at age 60. LOL. Hey, thank you, Reg, edited. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm ready. I'm ready to see what this introverted life is like over 50. I imagine the older I get, the less I'm going to want to rock with people. Definitely in my 60s. I probably won't even come out the house ever. Thank you so much. Hey, Reg Edit, once again, Super Chat Squad. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the love and the support. Thank you. That FD chat. Thank you, Reg. And shout out to your dad. Shout out to you. I'm ready for the over 50 introversion. But yeah, it's weird. Sometimes I miss the mandatory interactions. It's like if you have to go to work, you have to interact. I can get there. I can interact. That's why people are like, Tim, you're not an introvert. I see you at work. I'm like, that's different. From 8 to 5, I can be outgoing and talk to everybody because I think that's part of the job. If I'm gonna go somewhere, I'm not just gonna sit in the corner work-wise. I'm gonna be, boosting morale, talking to everybody. See me at 5:05. I'm in the car. I'm that dude, as I'm driving out the parking lot, I'm not trying to talk to you. Promise you. I used to work a seasonal job. It was here in Colorado at the YMCA of the Rockies. And at work, I'm outgoing. I talk to everybody. Catch me at the Safeway right down the road. 10 minutes later, I would literally avoid people. Like if I was going, there's only one grocery store in town. One big one, Safeway. I'd see somebody from work. I had just said bye to them 10 minutes ago. Hey, see you tomorrow. I see them at Safeway. I turn around, go the other way. I'm that, work, let's talk. After work, I ain't trying to deal with you. As soon as I get in that car and the name tag comes off and I loosen the collar, I see you at the grocery store, the gas station. I'm not trying to talk to you. If I have to talk to you, it's just like, hey, it's like night and day. It's like a switch is flipped. But I do realize, and this is a good point for all of us introverts, we do need some type of human interaction. You do. I think there's a lot of things that we can only learn about ourselves in solitude. But I also think you really only get to use those things or understand how much you've really grown around other people. I think there's things we can only learn about ourselves in solitude. But what's the point of learning it if you never use it with other people? So I think there's kind of that balance. And I think we all have to figure out for ourselves, what's that balance of kind of making myself be around people or being around people and then getting my recharge alone time. And I think it's different for everyone. Eric Marshburn coming through. Thank you. Super Chat Squad said, I'm a rock, I'm an island. Paul Simon. Okay. I think, but even the rocks, even islands have water come splashing against them, right? Nothing's totally alone. Even an island, even a rock has water come splash up against it. You know what I mean? Nobody's totally alone. We all need some type of interaction. Shout out to Paul Simon, Super Chat Squad. Hey, Urban Lady coming through. Says, happy Soberversity month to us, by the way. Hey, yeah, exactly. It's July. End of this month, 4 years sober. So, yeah. Happy Soberversary. Super Chat Squad, Super Chat Train. Thank you, Urban Lady. Thank you. Yes, 4 years. It's amazing. Yeah, so I think that balance. Solitude is great, but I think being alone all the time has its issues too. And that's one of the things I have to remind myself. Like I said, here lately, I've really been to be around some people, So if you see me take a job sometime soon, don't be surprised. But I just notice if I'm totally alone, if my balance gets out of whack and I'm totally alone, my mental health starts to not I don't, get super depressed or nothing, but I can see I'm not, You know what I mean? You know how you can feel when you're totally like in flow and feeling good and everything's working. And you can also feel when it kind of starts to get out of whack. I feel myself start to get out of whack if I'm not around people like on a regular basis. Because yeah, when I'm just doing my content creation thing, I might see like or engage with with my roommate. Maybe that's it for a week at a time. For a week at a time. And that's if, some days I come home, I go right to my, I see him in the kitchen. I'm like, yo, what's up, bro? I go to my room. Sometimes we don't even talk for a week. That's not healthy for me. My balance requires me, I need to 80-20 is probably good for me. When I'm at 97-3, that's not good. That's not good. Stevie, the Sweat Warrior. Thank you. Super Chat Squad. The love is coming through. So we introverts rock. Yes, we do. But so do the extroverts. We all rock. But thank you. We introverts rock. And I wish more people understood us. That's why we're doing this chat. Super Chat Squad. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate the love so much. Thank you. Thank you, Stevie, the Sweat Warrior. What is Sweat? Thank you. Then we got Big P90 coming through. Super Chat Squad, Super Chat Train says you are abundant. Hey, thank you, Big P90. Thank you. I appreciate your abundance. Super Chat Squad, Super Chat Train. Thank you. I appreciate the love from everybody. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I say I appreciate it a lot because I do. Definitely not one of those channels where people show love and we gloss over it. We talk about it here. So thank y'all so much. I'm looking at my list here. I was going to say, the next thing I was going to say, I was just jotting stuff down last night. I'm more of a people watcher. This is another one of my little, I'll say minimalist. One of my other introverted. I only got 2 labels, minimalist, introvert, and darn fine American. Okay, it was July 4th. We got to throw that in there. I'm more of a people watcher than people interactor. Like if I could be invisible, I would go so many more places. If I could just be invisible or a fly on the wall or a speck of dust in the wind, I would go so many more places because I like to go places and just like people watch and be. I don't like the interaction. Like I took a walk this morning. I'm trying to get back into taking a morning walk, and it was a glorious walk. I meditated. I'd done some reading. I literally read this book in like less than 2 days. I'm going to talk about this later in detail, folks, but I literally read this book in about 36 hours total. Like this, I read the whole book less than 2 days. Anyway, I finished reading this morning, and it was a great day. Went out for a walk, and it was a great walk, but like my energy was so like good. Everybody spoke to me. Like out of the 30 people I passed, 25 said hi to me, which was great, but it kind of got to me. Like too many people said hi. You know what I mean? Like too many people said hi. And I was like, if I could make this walk and be invisible, it'd be perfect. Even though I liked the people saying hi, I was just one of those moods. I just wanted to walk and just enjoy, like the sprinklers were running. I love sprinklers. The sprinklers were running and like, it was a beautiful day. It was cool. I didn't want to be bothered. I was like, if I could just be invisible right now, I probably would have walked 3-4 times around the park. But because so many people were saying hi, I went home after the first walk. I was like, I can't. Because the second walk around, you start running into people the second time. And then there's that awkward, do we say hi again? You ever done that? You ever been walking somewhere a long time and you walk past the same person more than once and then you got to figure out, and they spoke the first time? So the second time is like, do I look away and pretend not to see them? Do I say hi again? Usually it's that weird, awkward, I was like, I'm going home. I can't do it. But if I had my shield of invisibility, I could have kept walking. It wouldn't have bothered me because I'd much rather like just watch people, look at the scenery. I'm not trying to interact. Like it's a chore. Interacting is a chore for us introverts sometimes. Just like, oh, nothing against you. I just don't want to talk to you. I just want to be. So yeah, that's one of the, we introverts have our stuff we have to deal with. That's one of them. Part of that is because, going down the list here, and I know a lot of y'all feel me on this one. Anxiety is something I think anxiety is at like, just in general, I think anxiety is at all-time highs. I mean, I personally think when you add on everyday human life anxiety, coupled with all the stuff we've done with the planet and climate control, and then you got technology and social media, I think anxiety is at an all-time high. I think anxiety is at an all-time high for everybody. And then I think we introverts also have to have that anxiety and crowd stuff. You know, sometimes we get that. Some introverts don't. They can go in crowds, they just don't want to. Some of us have that. If I go in a crowd, I get, it's just a weird feeling. I don't like it. I'm the type, I'm not trying to go in a restaurant I've ever been in. I have never been in by myself. I'm weird. I'm weird. It's hard for me. Like one of the reasons why, like, going out the country, I love traveling out the country, but it's very hard for me because I lose weight. I'm not well, I didn't actually lose weight, but I do not eat very well out the country because it is so hard for me to go into a restaurant I've never been in. That's why part of the reason I eat at like McDonald's and Burger King and Starbucks when I go out the country, because it is like, for me to go like a local restaurant in another country, are you crazy? My anxiety too. No. Like if somebody would be cool, but by myself, I literally will walk. It'll be like 11 o'clock. I'm gonna go get something to eat. I remember this in Bangkok. It was really bad. I literally walked up and down the street for about 3 hours. And then I went to like McDonald's or something great. Like I was looking at every restaurant. I was like, I can't do it. I go to another restaurant. I'm like, all right, this one looks, I can't do it. Like it was just, can't do it. It's part of the introversion. I used to think it was a character flaw. And now I'm like, it's just me. I just accept it. Now, if I really, 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 really wanted to put my big boy pants on, could I go in? Yeah. But it's so uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And I know it's just a weird thing with me, because if there was another person with me, I'd go instantly. They may have to go in first, but I would go instantly. By myself, I just, it's a weird thing. Monique, thank you. Super Chat Squad coming through. Monique said, I only learned I was an introvert in my mid-30s. I used to think I was just weird. I thought it would help to tell people I was an introvert, but extroverts don't care. Love your channel, by the way. Thank you, Monique. I appreciate that. Thank you. I think, to your point, appreciate the love. To your point, I think a lot of extroverts just don't understand. You know what I mean? So like, I think we all have things that are so naturally us that we can't process someone being different. I think we all have things that, like, someone tells us we're different and we just kind of gloss over it because we can't process a difference. You know what I mean? And so I think for like, especially for like hardcore extroverts, like they can't process the opposite. So they just kind of does not compute. It seems like they don't care. Like they just, like, it doesn't, I think they just can't figure out what to do, say, or, you know what I mean? Because to them, it's like, Monique's my friend. I want to hang out with her 24/7. And you're like, oh, I'm an introvert. I just don't really want to hang that much. And they're just like, so are we not friends or what? You know what I'm saying? Like, now some people just don't care in general life, but I think some extroverts just can't. It does not compute. Like they just can't. They don't know what to do. You know. So yeah, but it is cool to like have a term that some people understand. I'm an introvert. I'm not a weirdo. I just like being by myself. And some people are like, all right, I get it. Or some people pretend to get it. But you know, yeah, I'm with you. Same, like I said, it was probably late 20s, mid 30s before it ever hit me. Oh, I'm this. I just, you know, didn't realize it before. Chad coming through. Thank you. Super Chat Squad, Super Chat Train. Chad said, even when I don't want to interact with others, I still make brief and meaningful chit chat just to keep my social skills sharp and not have to think too much about it. 10/10, highly recommended. Hey, thank you, Chad. Super Chat Squad. I appreciate the love. Super Chat Train. And I think that makes sense, you know? Yeah, because you definitely don't want to be so introverted that your social skills go out the window, and then one day you have to interact with people and you damn near can't even talk. You got your head down. You point. Give me that. Yeah, you don't need that. You don't need them problems. Yeah, so yeah, I like that, Chad, that you make yourself kind of, because I think a balance is important. It is important. We can get two in our introverted bag. And, you know, months can go by. I'm telling you, they put me on a desert island. I'm chilling. You know how much fun I would have on a desert island by myself exploring? 6 months might go by and then a boat pull up. I'd probably hide from the boat. I know me. I'm that introverted. If I got shipwrecked or airplane wrecked, if I got lost on a desert island, I would just be having the time of my life. And when the Coast Guard finally came out, when the rescue ship finally showed up, I'd probably hide. Too many people on that boat. I can't. That search party is too many people. I can't right now. I've been alone for 6 months. I got half the island to explore. Y'all come back. I'd probably, they write in the sand, like help. I'd probably be like, send help next year. Send help 2023. Like I know me. Man, desert island? Why is it always desert island? Okay, let's say tropical island. I think tropical island is better. Is there such thing as a desert island? If it's surrounded by water, is it the desert? Tropical island? If you strand me on tropical island, man, I would be so happy. I mean, as soon as I figured out, the food situation. There needs to be food situated somewhere on that island. But other than that, man, I'd be chilling. And maybe Wi-Fi. Yeah, somebody said send Wi-Fi. Yeah, if there was Wi-Fi, if there was food and Wi-Fi, and I could piece together some type of shelter, and if I had my camera, that would be, if I didn't have my camera and I couldn't like chronicle it, I couldn't take video, that'd be a problem. I need my camera, Wi-Fi, hot wings. You seem like you need a lot of stuff. Basically, you're saying you just don't want people to be there. Yeah, I'm basically just saying no people. I want everything else in my life that I like, but no people. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I'd be chilling, man. Just being alone seems natural to me. I guess that's another way to describe it. Being alone seems natural to me. And I know for a lot of people, that seems weird. It's like, why would you want to be alone? I can't explain it. It's not like there's I was given an explanation. It's not like I got a memo. Dear Timothy Ward, as an introvert, this is it's just being alone seems natural to me. Left to my own devices, I will be alone most of the time. Every now and then I'll be like, oh, I want to hang out with my friends. Or someone will call, hey, you want to hang out? I'll be like, you know what? Yeah, let's hang out. I've literally lived in apartment complexes or right across the street from some of the people I love the most in the world. Saw them twice a month. My buddy Mike, who we did the interview, that's still getting good views. Shout out to Mike. I talked to him the other day. We're gonna do a part 2 because he's been growing even more, so he wants to do another one. But Mike used to live. My employee housing was literally a 3-minute walk, maybe 5-minute walk at the max. I could see Mike's apartment from my employee housing. And when I was there the last time, he wasn't drinking. When I was drinking and partying, yeah, we hung out 3-4 times a week. But when I wasn't drinking and partying, once every 2 weeks, maybe. And it was nothing against Mike. That's my brother. Everybody knows that. He was like, yeah, I know. I get it. I know you. I just be at the house. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's natural. A lot goes into being around people. Let's be honest. Can we be honest? A lot goes into being around people. I realized one day, most of the drama in my life, almost 90% of the drama in my life came from other people. You ever thought about that? How much of the drama in your life comes from other people? All my hardcore introverts know. They got very drama-free lives. Think about it. They got very drama-free lives. Think about it. When I was out running the streets, I had so much drama. You interacting with so many people, so many personalities. That's why when people are like, how do you deal with toxic people? I'm like, I don't be around them. I be at the house. Ain't no toxic people here. Unless I'm working and I have to be around somebody, that's different. We can talk about that. But like, I'm not around no toxic people. I don't even kick it with family like that when we live close by. Me and my mama used to live in the same city. We didn't really hang out. I don't know. It's just so that's mama's drama. But I'm just saying, just think about that. About how drama-free your life would be if you subtracted most of those people. And when there is drama in my life, it's me. It's me. So I can fix it easily. Yeah, Tim, you probably shouldn't have done that. Call drama. I just don't do it no more. I fix it. When there's drama with other people, a lot of times you can't do nothing about it, right? Somebody in your life causing drama, you could say something, hey, bro, you being a little dramatic, blah, blah, blah. If they don't change, you just got to deal with other people's drama. I don't do, like, I do not. It's so much easier to just be alone. Just sit in my room. I'm telling you, know what I mean? The news every now and then pops up on one of my feeds and there's some drama. And I block it. Don't want to see that. Don't show me that no more. I don't need the drama. It's just me, man. I just be chilling. How do you deal with narcissists? I don't know any. I don't be around none. How you deal with these type of people? How you deal with family that doesn't? I don't be around them. It's simple for me. Now, I understand if you are an extrovert, it's not that easy. You enjoy being around people. You got a lot of people in your life. It's a little harder to cut people off. Introvert, it's easy to cut people off. You just go back to doing what you like doing. You're extroverted, harder to do. I get it. But for me, man, I keep a very small circle. Very small circle. Just easier. And just, decision making's easier. I ain't got to ask nobody. Just do what I want to do. Another part of the reason I say single. Is there like a introverts dating app? That'd be cool. I'm sure they have it. But they need like a introverts dating app. A dating app where you say, when you sign up, we're only going to hang out once a week. You can only message twice a week. We need an introverts dating app where it's just like, hey, I'm not really looking for, nothing, up each other's ass. I just want somebody to hang out with once a week, maybe. Dinner once a week. Maybe we hang out again on the weekend. Intro date. Let's start that. Let's start an introverts dating app. Introverts dating app. Or it might be like, hey, you can come out, you can come hang out, you can come over and hang out. But most of the time, like, I'm gonna be doing my thing. You want to come out and you want to come over and sit on the couch while I watch, The Mandalorian for the third time, cool. But like or I can come over to your place. I can sit on the couch, read a book, you can be doing whatever you do at home. But we're not gonna be, 24/7 and all this stuff. We're not doing that. I just can't. It just don't seem natural. That's fun when it's time to do that, but most of the time I'm trying to relax. Being around people isn't relaxing to me. You know what I mean? Like it's a chore being around people. Even if it's like people I love, like it's fun and I like it, but it is still taking a lot out of me. Extroverts recharge around people. Right? Extrovert, I think that's one of the big differences. An extrovert recharges around people. They feed off other people's energy. They're recharged. An introvert, I get drained when I'm around other people. So like, even if I really love being around you, an introvert, I get drained when I'm around other people. So like, even if I really love being around you, the time's gonna come and I'm like, yeah, I gotta get back to the house. I gotta recharge. My battery's drained. My battery is drained. That's why I like having friends who are similar, because about the 3-hour mark, we're like, yeah, 2-3 hours, like, yeah, all right, I'll see you later. I'm like going out for coffee or for like lunch with my friends. Hey, let's go grab coffee. Let's go grab lunch. To come over each other's house thing gets weird. Not weird, but like, because there's no like, I know if we go for coffee, it's going to be an hour and a half max. I'm out. If we go for lunch, a couple hours maybe. I go over to the house sometime, you know what I mean? You might sit there all afternoon, and not that I mind it, but it's just, you know what I mean? I like hanging out, and it's just like, all right, I know 2 hours max. I can be back at the house. We go to your house. Oh, let's watch this movie. I'm like, oh. Now that doesn't apply like in a friends with benefits scenario or something like that. I'll watch the movie. I'll stay a little longer, because the dessert's coming. But If we just friends hanging out, come on, man, let's go get coffee. Let's go get coffee. Get there at 11. I know 12:15. I'm probably gonna be going. And the obligation is I've had a great time. We talked. The obligation to hang out is good for another month. I feel like I've been a good friend. I've enjoyed your company. We've got up to speed on what we're going through. We ain't got to hang out no more for a month. You know what I mean? And that's not a negative. But I don't have to keep saying that because all my friends know I love them. But it's just how it is being an introvert. Which is, somebody mentioned meet and greets. That's why I don't really do it. It would be, and that's a time, there are some times when I wish I could flip a switch and be an extrovert. Let's talk about this. There's times when I wish I could flip a switch and be an extrovert and like that. A lot of people have been like, I'm humbled by the amount of people who's been like, hey, Tim, you should do a meet and greet. We should all get up. I wish I could flip a switch and be totally fine, cool with that because I would do it in a heartbeat. Nothing would be more fun, but I can't flip a switch. So I know it would be anxiety central for me. Maybe, in the coming months, years, something will change, but that's just to have to meet with a group of people I've never met in real life before. I don't want to say I don't know. I know y'all. We know each other. But to meet with people I've never met in real life before, and then also kind of be the glue that's holding it together. Oh man, do you know how much sleep I would lose before and after? Because afterwards, I'd be like, did I say everything right? Did I do everything right? It would just be so much anxiety. Maybe that'll change though. I wish it would change. But yeah, there's times that I wish I'd be like, hey, for this today, I don't want to be extrovert Timmy. Just for today. But it doesn't. Life isn't set up like that. Life ain't set up like that. Hey, Damien coming through. Thank you. Super Chat Squad. Come through with the Euros. International Super Chat Squad. Damien coming through with the Euros. Says, Tim, this is exactly how I am, how I feel. Hello from Ireland. Hey, Ireland in the building. See, they even got introverts in Ireland.